All right, so we have to update the tier list because we know who exactly is coming, and we haven't done Junpei, we haven't done Megumi, so yeah, here we go. We have these three, then we have these four SSRs. Now, before we start anything, we do have to actually change the tier list slots, okay? So number one, right? Because I got stuff wrong at the beginning, we have to put Hanami in A, in my opinion. He's going to be amazing for damage lowering, but it's just, that's his main gimmick, right? Damage lowering, which right now is not exactly in meta, but the minute Tower comes out, he might even jump up to S, right? We could put Miwa down to B, okay? And Megumi and Nanami, I don't really think are on the same tier, but I also feel like he shouldn't, like, Nanami, I don't think should be in A tier, in my opinion. These guys all have a very good gimmick. I'm fine with moving Inumaki up because of how he works currently with Gojo, okay? So these are my changes. Obviously, if a unit is up one or down one, it's not really a huge deal, but for me right now, that's what I'm going to do. Now, Nobara also goes down because of a certain person, but yeah, pretty obvious why, but Nobara does go down now, but S plus and A, like between these three, all good units. All good units, okay? So if you want to get the explanation on all these units, then you go ahead and check the previous video. But now we're going to go and talk about these units in order of when they come out, which is exactly like this, okay? So let's get started. This is a somewhat subjective list, as objective as I can make it, but I am only human and I have my preferences, okay? So let's start. All right, let's start. Let me close everything here and let's open up the wiki. So number one, Megumi S+. Pretty obvious why. Pretty obvious. This guy, amazing. Alt does a lot of damage. Single target. Doesn't take damage for 4 turns. Puts 2 AoE debuffs. Just like that. And then he has an amazing AoE. And then his skill 1 in the domain. 100% damage increase for 3 turns. So you can stack this. Guys, he's broken. Damage support-wise, everything. Everything. He is staying broken for a while too. Okay. Now, Junpei, I'm saying B. All right. I'd say all these units are better than him. You could argue Panda and B, by the way, but I'm going to keep Junpei here. He could do some stuff. It's just he's at risk of dying a lot. He's able to taunt, but he doesn't have much damage reduction besides 10%. He gets 1 attack nullification for 1 time, which is good. If you have if there's 1 unit, great. That's when he works. When there's 1 enemy. More than 1 enemy, he risks dying. Not good, right? So to me, he's a very mid-tier unit, and B to me is a mid-tier unit, okay? Like S+ is the gods of the game, but that's mid-tier, okay? Now, this Inumaki, actually, like him and more him than Junpei, will work with a certain person called Hanami, okay? And why is that? Because he taunts, then he gives himself counter status, and then he also heals, okay? 60% chance to get a 15% heal. Now, what's interesting about that is while countering also, right, what you also have to consider is how much Hanami is reducing damage and stuff, right? So Hanami here also, like, yeah, so he is decreasing enemies damage, okay? Decreasing enemies damage, okay? So with that considered, right, decreasing the damage, he is able to heal. If you have someone like Yaga to decrease damage, like, you're going to be fine, especially with Megumi. So, like, he's an okay unit. He could work. Not amazingly, but he can work. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get through, all right? Now, I just don't like these units. I don't. Like, I'm going to be real. Like, I think it's pretty clear. Don't summon on the SR banner. What color? Blue and blue. They're all blue. Okay. So, he's got AoE ult, super low multiplier, no damage increases, no passive. Nothing more to say. Here, she gives herself a taijutsu buff, very low, break damage cool. She has an AoE, very low multiplier, very low multiplier. Not really looking too good. HP's kind of low, taijutsu is decent, but not anything crazy. So, yeah, not really that good. Now, Mecha Maru, he's good AoE, but like he's really only good type advantage, I'd say. Yeah, Mecha Maru you can move up, by the way. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. That's probably gonna be where we're keeping Mechamaru. Like, I'm feeling good with this tier list. It's just like three things: Panda, Mechamaru, and Nanami. One in each tier, and those are the ones that are bugging me. I'm gonna keep it here, okay? But I could also see it changing for sure. Like, if you want to put it differently, you go ahead. You go ahead, right? That's up to you. But yeah, these are the units that I want to rank. Now, next up. Wow, who would have thought? Yuta Okkotsu, why is he so good? A lot of people were asking me that, like, why would I summon for Yuta instead of Toji? Let's talk about it. First of all, for grinding right now, AoE. And then when he gets them to a certain HP, insta-kill. Insta-kill, okay? Decreasing crit res also is really good. Helps a lot for someone like Gojo to crit, right? And everyone, but especially Gojo's, it's going to be good, right? Consider that. But this AoE, just having it when he has pretty okay-ish stats, but it's Jujutsu, so that's huge, right? But then also giving himself some damage increases, and then he could also counter. But the main thing is very much that he's able to heal, right? He's able to heal. So keep that in mind. And he gets his ult a good amount quicker. But it's really this heal that, remember, for autoing, when you're autoing story events, like 30 times in a row, you're going to want him because he heals. He's able to put Perez lower. His ult is a nuke, right? So I would say it's pretty important. I don't know about you, but to me, it's pretty important, right? So that's why I like him, right? He has an AoE ult, by the way, double Gojo's multiplier, but obviously Gojo, the thing is with Gojo is he has buffs that increases damage, but Yuta doesn't. Besides this, he doesn't really increase his damage. So obviously there's that, but to me, it's this. This and his damage is very good alongside Gojo. Also, only good red unit will have until Toji as a DPS. I guess these two, but like really good red unit I'm talking about, right? So to me, Yuta is definitely in the S plus tier. No doubt about it. I think everyone agrees with that. Like, there's a reason why everyone's telling you to summon. All right. I'm sure it's because he's Yuta, but it's also because he's really good. Now then, this is my final placement for the boy. Now, let me talk about why. All right. So first of all, we already have Blue Gojo. So yeah, he's directly compared to Blue Gojo. At the start of each turn, he gets 20 cursed energy. Great. Huge. The thing is, like, it's just like, you know, he's going to be able to get some good debuffs here. Okay, that's good. He has an okay-ish AoE, very low multiplier, very high cursed energy for how shit it is. Besides this, so he does get a damage boost, so it could be good. But then this. So 300%. We don't know how big this damage boost is. Sorry, I don't. It's possible that other people do, but I don't really. Now, to me, it's the passive, right? If the passive was more debuffy / damage increase, it would have been good. Because 10 cursed energy when you defeat an enemy, when you're already getting so much here, I'd rather they make this 25, and then this should be a damage increase, right? Because he's a supporter combined, but it's like he also wants to do damage, but then they don't really give him the tools, right? He just takes too much cursed energy. And like his damage isn't high enough, in my opinion, to warrant it, right? The multipliers are so abundantly bad. Unless this is like 5 times damage when you're at like 50 cursed energy, it's just not worth it, right? I don't know. He's okay. It's just he's not doing anything crazy. Like Gojo, he AoEs, but then he's able to increase his damage, and he doesn't take damage. Yuta AoEs, but then he heals everyone. That's what I mean, right? That's what I mean. So they all have gimmicks that Geto does not have. Sure, his damage is not going to be horrible. He's going to be able to put good debuffs on his skill 2. But that's it. That's it. It doesn't go further than that. Right? So that's it. That's my tier list. Like I said, I am undecided about Nanami, Mechamaru, and Panda. Those are the 3 units that I think could definitely differ. But besides that, I'm pretty happy with it. Hanami, listen, when we get to tower, Hanami is going to be broken. Not much of a use right now. We're not taking that much damage. So I'd say he's A, right? This is very much the meta on global. But if we get to tower soon, I think he goes up to S. The damage lower is huge when we get to tower because of how much damage it does. But we are not in tower yet, so he's A, okay? Yuta heals, so we don't really need this. That's all I'm saying. That's my logic, all right? So yeah, let me know what you disagree with. Let me know what you agree with. I put Inumaki up here because the ult gauge is huge. Gets, well, 1, 2, and 3 all need their ult quick. So that's essentially it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope this was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye-bye.